Hi, this is Todd Malakote, the SEO faculty for Market Motive and online marketing consultant at stuntdouble.com, and we're going to talk about part 3 of SEO for local business, and this is optimizing your local presence. Optimizing those listings, thinking about all those search ranking factors that we learned about in part 2, and now we're going to look at the different vertical category and geolocation competitive indicators and the competitive difference makers in those categories that we talked about a little bit in the search ranking factors video. We're going to also look at how to check and optimize those citations in Get Listed and Yext and some other tools. We're going to talk about a few Google tools that will help in your research and in your optimization and in your tracking. We're going to look at how to do a little bit of local keyword research, some local citation and link building, just very briefly, and also a discussion of local reviews and creating offers and some of the top sources available at your disposal, as well as just a minute or two on credibility indicators for your website. So starting with vertical category and geolocation. So competition is always category and geo-specific. And so when I talk about the geolocation, I mean the city that you're in, the city that people are searching from. Searches are localized based on a user's geo-proximity to where you are, and the distance of your business from that search and from what they're searching for is going to have an impact on your ranking. It's been said that 74% of smartphone users now use location-based services. This was up from double the year before. So people are turning on their GPS and allowing advertisers and other app providers to understand their location and cater the content they serve to them based on that. And this is really where we get into the hyper-local geo-targeting based on your location of a mobile device. So the top geolocation DMAs, as they're called by Nielsen, these are the markets that are the biggest: New York, LA, Chicago, Philadelphia, etc. These are the ones that are going to be highly competitive, obviously, because there's more people, there's more market to be had there. So you can see where your city stacks up on this list to get some idea of how competitive it is. If you're in New York, Chicago, or LA, you already know that whatever your business is, it's competitive based on the amount of people. You can also check out the top 300 sites in social and mobile at this expanded ramblings address based on their user base and how large their user base is. You can find out their user statistics if you're curious about a vertical category specific website. And speaking of those vertical categories, there's lots of them. You have shopping and restaurants and home services. Your sites are going to be unique based on if you're a shopping website, a restaurant site, or an auto mechanic. It's a little harder to create content for an auto mechanic, and there's some category specific areas for auto mechanics or movers or home repair. Some of these areas are very specific to the category, and you can find those top citations by category at this Get Listed resource that's built with some White Spark local citation data they combined to create some really interesting data around the top citation sources for moving companies in different areas. We'll talk about that at the end of the video as well. You can also try the Bright Local Google Plus Local Wizard tool. This is really handy for checking out different categories and seeing who's ranking and what the competitive nature of that geolocal or that category vertical is like, and see what you might need. You might need more citations or more links or more reviews. The website authority might be higher. People might be sharing more photos depending on what your keyword phrases are going to be. So keep in mind the geo nature of the phrases that you're trying to rank for, the competitive nature, as well as the category that you're in, because those will all make a difference when you go to optimize your listing. So the difference makers, we talked about these a little bit in the search ranking factors video. I narrowed them right down. The difference makers are citations, links to the domain, quantity of reviews, consistency in your name, address, phone number, industry relevant domains and links from those, the domain authority of your website, and having locally relevant domains linking to you or citing you. So we can check those citations at Get Listed like we mentioned. We can start here to see where we're listed, which things we're listed for, which things we're not, where we need to create a listing. You can see I don't have one at Axiom. My don't have one that's registering here at Foursquare. And then I can go through and see the ones that I am listed for, and maybe if I need to optimize those a little bit, put some more photos up. You can see one at Factual there, we have the wrong address in there. The URL is Miami-fishing, which is actually somebody else. So that's something that we would need to claim and then go in and correct. You can do the same kind of thing at Yext and control them all from one place. It is a paid subscription service, so just be forewarned of that. But you can at least check those listings and see what you might need on Yext there. The third place that you can check those citations, another premium service, is Bright Local. They do offer a free, no credit card 30-day trial, which is very handy. They have some excellent tools in here that I'll show throughout the video, and this is one of them. Just checking your citations, seeing if you're listed, seeing if you have some photos and reviews, seeing your ratings. This is really helpful to just have the direct links to where to sign up, that sort of thing. So Bright Local, I highly suggest. A really nice tool, but most of the things you can do in that 30 days, you can register at a lot of these and get into those places that you need to get in, and then not have that necessity for the subscription service. So now that we're aware of all these places, we can start registering, because it is so important to register at all these different citation providers or local directories. It allows you to manage those reviews. If people come in and comment on Yelp, if they comment on Google+, you can at least respond to those if they have some problems, or you can reach out to them directly sometimes and say, hey, can I solve the problem? There's lots of other reasons why it's important to claim these listings, certainly specific to Google as well as to these other citation providers. So I want to take a minute and talk about the different Google tools that they have for free to business owners. First of those being Google Webmaster Tools. And you go to Google Webmaster Tools and make sure that you're registered there. And there's a handful of things that we can track in Google Webmaster Tools, mainly if there's any problems, if there's some malware on the site, to make sure that the site is indexed properly. There's a little bit of rank tracking and links reporting in there. We can submit our sitemap, which is important. We can fetch new pages or test some structured data, all little things that you might want to do within Webmaster Tools. I won't go into too much depth there, but this is one of the reports that is in Google Analytics. There is an entire different course dedicated to that, so I'll stay away from that for today. But you will need to link your analytics and your Webmaster Tools. So you'll have somebody set up analytics for you and Webmaster Tools, and when those are working together, it's a little bit easier to track some things and get some keyword reporting. You get this nice landing page report where you can see where people are coming in. It's a little bit more advanced, but if you are in those competitive spaces, you need these tools set up. You need analytics and you need Google Webmaster Tools, and then you can see some keyword reporting and that tracking in there as well. Another tool that Google gives us is a Google Plus widget specifically to local. So when you're logged into your page and you're managing your Google Plus local, you click on For Your Site and you'll find this little badge here, and they give you this badge widget that looks a little bit something like this. You can customize that widget and put that right on the sidebar of your website, and then people can comment and find your Google Plus local listing right from there. And it helps you just to promote that Google Plus local listing a little bit. The next thing I want to look at is some keyword research tools for local, some things that you can start coming up with additional ideas for keywords you might want to target, things that you can write content about for researching keywords for content creation. And the 8 tools that we're going to go through, I'll do them just all very briefly. First is Google Trends. This is one from Google that they give you. Just has some basic data, search for some broad terms, build a nice little seed list. You can narrow them down for pay-per-click and find some seasonality trends in here. There's some related searches, so you might come up with something new that you hadn't thought of before. Google Trends, you can compare over time the forecast of terms and that sort of thing. So Google Trends is a handy little tool. The next one is the AdWords Keyword Planner tool, and this is a little clunkier than it once was. You can see it's at adwords.google.com/keyword planner, and it's a little different than the old keyword tool. It takes a few more steps, a little harder to get to, but it is handy. You have to make sure that you fill in your bid price to get the search volume and click information, because otherwise you won't get that. But a handy little tool. You can do more keyword generation for the local space, and it will start to show you some of that local data, which is sometimes hard difficult to get because the volume isn't very high. Google Suggest, you can see I just typed in Miami fish. You could do Miami A, Miami B, etc. We can do that with Google Suggest. Something that scrapes Google Suggest and is based on the same data is called Uber Suggest, and this is a fantastic tool. You can see that it just gives us all the variations for A, B, C, D, E down the list. So we can see Miami fishing plus A, April adventures, August at night. So it gives us some of that long tail information that we might not be able to get from other locations. Suval is another handy little keyword research tool, just fun to play with and do some idea generation. The local keyword generator tool. This is a nice little tool. You put in your radius and your zip code and your keywords. You can see I just entered a list of keywords here without any geo modifiers, and then it adds those geo modifiers as well as things within a 5-mile radius, which happen to be Key Biscayne and Miami Beach here in South Florida. SEMrush is probably my favorite of all the keyword tools. This does so much more than keyword research, competitive analysis, rank tracking, comparison of domains, historical tracking of keywords and their value. So there's some really good stuff in here, but you can find competitors, you can find the competitors' keywords and where they stack up and where you stack up against them. This is a premium tool. It's $50 a month. If you're doing active SEO for more sites, it's probably a great tool. You might want to try it just for a month and pull your data out of it, but very, very valuable information there in SEMrush. You might even be able to get a free trial there as well. SpyFu is very similar to SEMrush, but you can see that layout is like, and we can get some cost per click and volume information in there, and just again start generating some more keywords. So those are 8 different keyword research tools, just in case, again, some are premium, some are free, but do what you can to build a nice big seed list and make sure you've covered that entire keyword universe for your content development, for your citation building, for determining what categories you should be in perhaps, and really important to be doing that proactive initial keyword research. So the next area that we're going to look at is citation building. So citation building is very similar to link building in a lot of ways. So you can research traditional SEO link building techniques, and there's lots of them. Citation building's a little bit like building directory links, which has been frowned upon in the kind of traditional SEO circles at this point, just because there's so many directories. But citations are important. Listing that name, address, phone number, as well as your website has become important to these citations. So we can find the ones that are most important in a category or in a geolocation based on looking at our competitors. And we can do that with the Whitespark citation finder. You can see in this case I typed in Miami fishing. It gave me the top 7 search results, and it said how many citations each one of those had. You can see the top one has 220, 180. So it starts giving me a basis of comparison for what I might need, how many of those citation directories I might need to be in, the domain authority, some of the competitive information, and then it also gives me direct listings to submit to those websites. So I can submit my citation and make sure that I'm getting on the same places that all of those competitors are. So this is one way to find some citations. The second one is another excellent tool from Bright Local. I mentioned them earlier, and they have something similar where you can see the value of those citations at Facebook, at Yelp, at TripAdvisor, and then where to claim those, whether they're a free or paid listing, that sort of thing. So this is another excellent tool in doing your citation or link building research. There's volumes of link building information out there on the internet in traditional SEO sense, but focus on just the initial citations first, and then you can go and focus on your link building for your local site. Certainly, if you can get a site link from a friend or from somebody, a business owner that you go to Rotary with, you're going to want to do that, but focus on these citations first. Obviously, these ratings are important to your star ratings, to how you show up in Google, to how you show up on the different provider services or the citation services, but there's a lot of these and they're difficult to get and they filter them and there's all kinds of problems associated with them, and God forbid you get a bad review and your rating drops. So you really have to be on top of this, and you have to choose your battles depending on the size of your business, the type of your business, the category or the vertical, the area, the city, etc. The ones that you're going to focus on is going to be a little bit different. There's a nice roundup of this at Local Visibility Systems. system.com. They have a nice infographic that you see here and the link below as to if you should get Yelp, Google+, City Search, Yahoo Local, Yellow Pages, Foursquare, depending on how they factor those local reviews. Yelp is very harsh on local reviews, on new reviewers. We've gotten some reviews on TripAdvisor, and the top contributors actually help a whole lot more at TripAdvisor. But this is obviously travel related, so if you're a restaurant or something that's just really localized to people, not from the outside area, this might not be as good a strong a site for you. So it's all very specific. But check out all of these individual sites and at least see if you have some reviews. You should be monitoring these reviews so that you can respond to them if you do happen to get a negative review, because that overall impression of your credibility is going to be based on what people say here. And some of them are going to be good, bad. Hopefully you get the ones that are just saying really, really great things about you. There's a nice little widget from Bright Local that's part of the 30-day free trial, and you can put in all of your different reviews and add this to your website as a widget similar to the one for Google Plus we looked at earlier. And this asks them to give you a nice comment, a nice review, and you really have to incentivize your customers to do that. At Miami Fishing, we send people or email people photos after the fact, and then we send them a little link that says, hey, can you please mention something nice about us if you had a great day, if you caught some fish, and if we sent you some photos. So offer a little add-on, a little something extra to give a review. Some people in the fishing industry here even have a on-site iPad where they can write a review there. And the different providers tend to frown or look good or bad upon that depending on the different sites. But it is important to have some way to solicit reviews, to have people say nice things about you, because people are reading these reviews online and it's very important to have them. So the last few areas I want to look at, one of them is the top local sources. There's this Get Listed resource again with Whitespark that breaks down the top sources by different area and by category. So we can do it either by category, vertical, or by the local source. In most places, Google Plus Local, Facebook, Yelp, Localese, Infogroup, etc. are going to be the important ones. The categories, you can see where Yelp has the most reviews in different categories. Those percentages are how many of the businesses in that category Yelp has listing for. And there is lots and lots of different categories. This is the way that Get Listed has them broke down, and Google Plus has them broke down. So the place that I want to focus on for just a moment is Yelp. We've had some pretty good luck with Yelp ourselves. They have over 100 million users per month, depending on who and where you ask. We've had some good volume from them. You can sign up. This is what their local marketing dashboard looks like. And then their reviews, since we were talking about reviews a while back, are kind of problematic. They filter reviews that are by people who are first-time reviewers. If somebody signs up for a new account and then leaves you a review, they're probably going to filter that, which is unfortunate. You can see out of our 10 reviews, we've had 7 of them filtered, and a lot of times it's even higher than that. So it's really hard to get reviews at Yelp. It's kind of a double-edged sword, and then when you get some bad reviews, they're probably going to contact you and want you to buy some premium services. So you've got to be careful, really monitor that, and stay on top of it. But Yelp is an excellent place of business, a place to provide business. Like I said, they have over 100 million users per month, lots and lots of people leaving reviews. Over 1 million reviews in a single month are left on Yelp. 4 million calls were generated from the mobile app. So there's lots of great numbers here. 5 million people search for directions on Yelp's mobile app. There's really a lot of great stuff happening at Yelp, and they are providing some competition to Google Plus based on their really strong listings. They have over 25 million reviews, and over 600,000 local businesses have claimed their local listings. They're only selling advertising to 24,000 of those, but 600,000 have claimed their listing. So this is a study done by Yelp saying that Yelp is the best, but you can see it was done by their engineering staff, and I think I would say and agree with the fact that their listings are second only to Google. They claim they're the top based in all these categories against TripAdvisor, Yellow Book, etc. But they do a good job with their listings, and the name, address, phone number, website, deduplication, and location accuracy. These are the things they studied for the top local sources. really interesting study to check out on Yelp and local sources in general. So we can see by different city, we can see which of these we should be looking at. If your city isn't in the top 50, just focus on these areas. These are the top 10, top 15 citations that you're going to want no matter where you are. But you can see that Yelp shows up near the top of the list on almost all of these. BBB is another one, but that might cost you a little bit of money. Facebook, you can register for free and is a top citation up there. If you're in Michigan, you're going to want to be at MLive. If you're in Richmond, you might want to be on richmond.com. So it depends on where you're at, but you really have to be focusing on getting as many of these citations as you possibly can. All right, the second to last area I want to talk about is creating offers on all of these different citation sources. One of the advantages of claiming your listings is that you can respond to reviews as well as create offers. Now, I haven't had great luck with this in our business, but in certain businesses, it really can be a big thing. Groupon and Living Social offer significant discounts to consumers, so you really have to offer something significant, and they're going to want to take a percentage of that. So you can drive a lot of business with Groupon and Living Social, but it has to be loss leader type of things, and it can't be something that overwhelms or inundates your business. I haven't done a lot with these myself, but they are available to local business. Just kind of proceed with caution there. Facebook, again, you can do really nice little offers there and create some offers at Facebook. I've done it at Google and Yelp, and they tend to, you can see this Yelp offer kind of confuses people sometimes, but it's nice to have that. It could be a promotional tool. You could run some adds to this. We can give away some free live bait when you book a full day charter and then send some ads to it and see if that books some additional business. So it's one of the advantages of signing up for these services is that you can do offers, but your experience may be different than mine, hopefully. Final area I want to discuss is just some general credibility indicators that you can optimize your site with to be more trustworthy in the mind of your consumers. Testimonials, there's a nice little widget here at WordPress. You can see the link down below just to rotate some testimonials into your website. People that said nice things on the different website. Obviously those reviews, cycling those in. Photos of real people. It's amazing how much traction this can get you. Just having a photo of the building, having a photo of real people versus having stock photography and something that isn't actually your website. It's a lot better to have that description of your services, to answer some frequently asked questions, and really describe your unique selling points. Make sure you're telling your story. Tell the story that you want to tell about your business, why it's unique. The things that are the top 10 credibility indicators, according to the Stanford credibility test that was done by Dr. BJ Fogg and some other experts in the field. The accuracy of your information, if it's real people, if you have some expertise in whatever the area is, make sure you're demonstrating that and your trustworthiness. Make it easy to contact you. Make it easy to email you, to call you, and make sure you're answering that phone when people do call. Because if they don't get somebody on the phone, they're going to go down that Google search result and call the next guy to get the information that they're looking for. Make sure that your site's really easy to use. Dead simple is really the way to go, and frequently updated. Make sure that with phishing, we do it about once every couple weeks or once a month. We give a phishing report that lets people know, hey, we're still paying attention to our website. So try to pay attention to these credibility indicators and improve upon these things. Add some photos, add some updates, make sure you have real people on your website, and it will help to optimize your presence. It will help to get people through the door, get people calling you. Every little bit definitely helps. And make sure you're telling your story. Tell about your business, talk about your business, and show people that you're living your business. And if you happen to be in Miami, obviously come fishing with me now that you've heard about my business a whole lot. So in part 3, we talked about optimizing your local presence based upon your vertical category and geolocation. We talked about the different competitive difference makers with reviews and citations and all the tools at your disposal from Google and keyword research tools. We talked about some link building and local citation tools, some ideas behind reviews and what you can do there, a little bit about offers and the top local sources, and some ideas for making your website more credible. And this is the final part in our 3-part series. I thank you for joining me on SEO for local business. Thank you.